Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Leo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. On the 8th of the month, we will have this month's full moon. And what makes this full moon especially distinct is that it is hand in hand with precision with a retrograde Mars. Now, Mars has been retrograde since late October and will be right into the middle of January. However, it is moments like this when we have lunar energy in the mix, a full moon no less, that the emotional side of what this Mars retrograde season is meant to be for us comes right to the surface, that we feel it that much more strongly. For you, this full moon is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with friendships and group alliances. In particular, this is about your connections to others, whether they are sincere friendships or acquaintances or people that you connect with in different group endeavors, professional, personal, psychological, or otherwise. It is in these spaces and the people that we interact with that end up taking focus, especially at a time like this. Chances are they'll be asking for a lot of your energy now. Now, that is true where it comes to having Mars so close to a full moon here. But you add in the mix that this is a precise alignment. It magnifies Mars energy and symbolism that much more. Plus, Mars is retrograde, meaning that it is closer to the Earth than it otherwise is, magnifying its importance as well. And that brings an element of adrenaline and urgency. Now, thankfully, we do have Saturn speaking in supreme harmony with this full moon, which means that there's an element here of stability and maturity, regardless of what comes up. You instinctively understand the right thing to do, the mature thing to do, the responsible thing to do in a way that fuels healthy self-respect on your part. We also have Neptune speaking with this full moon, and that is a more challenging conversation of tension, which does suggest some sense of tiredness or disappointment can be part of the energy of this time as well. Regardless, there's something honest here. As much as Neptune can be a lack of honesty, within that there is something clear as well. That full moon, hand in hand with Mars, is going to show you something about what you really feel about a particular person or a particular group dynamic. And once the truth comes to the surface, it's hard to go back. And sometimes the truth is that you didn't realize the truth or you didn't want to accept the truth. That's just one possible scenario here. The other is that a friend requires a lot of compassion. The other is that a friend requires a lot of energy in a way that can feel draining or tiring. Friendship and money do not mix at a time like this. If it has already mixed, well, this is where you're going to find a way to navigate this time with that sense of self-respect at the forefront. Chances are one-on-one alliances are going to be part of helping you to create stability at this time. Also possible, though, is that it is a friend that feels that you are requiring a lot, and maybe you are. And that's okay as well. Regardless, the energy now is one that is meant to empower you. Honesty always empowers in one way or another. And a time like this helps you to get to some truth beyond illusion and delusion as to who other people are and what your honest connection to them is. And from there, you can form even more meaningful and genuine, strong alliances. Now, as we navigate further, it is going to be on the 23rd of the month that we will have this month's new moon. This new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. Now, this includes your work-related life, so the type of work you're doing, the people who surround you there, clients, customers, coworkers, immediate supervisors are covered here as well. But it also has to do with your daily habits and daily rituals, how well you take care of you, and how in small moments you affirm a healthy sense of well-being in the process. And so what's interesting about this new moon is that it is happening at the very beginning of this part of the sky, which means the element of newness is that much more magnified now. It is this energy that is going to invite you in some way to do things differently, to begin again. For some Leos, this is going to be the beginning of brand new work, perhaps new opportunities that are work related as well. New projects, new clients, new customers can show up now. For others, it's going to be a sense of a fresh start right where you are, perhaps a new role within your work environment. Regardless, remember, and I can't emphasize this enough, this is a beginning. It is a seed moment. And what full opportunities could be here for you, what full implications of a new client or customer could be for you are going to flush out in the months ahead and culminate more fully 6 months down the road. Where it comes to how well you take care of you, this is about how your habits are speaking to your sense of well-being, and where it is that perhaps you're ready to make some changes so that you can steadily and incrementally move towards an improved sense of well-being, an improved sense of health overall. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is going to be in the first 10 days of the month that we have Venus continuing to move through that heart-oriented part of the sky that Venus moved into last week. Now here, Venus is going to emphasize a sense of play and fun and heart connections, love connections with others. But then Venus will move on and will move into this same part of the sky that has to do with your daily life, where we're going to have that new moon. And I find this fascinating. This is ultimately about looking at how other people actually live and whether or not it works for you, what their habits actually are, what they're actually demonstrating to you, and whether or not there's cohesion on your part. We do have beautiful, surprising, quick-moving, lovely energy happening the day before that new moon. On the 22nd is when Venus will speak in supreme harmony with Uranus. And yet, as we approach the end of the month, Venus is moving closer and closer to Pluto. And that is very reminiscent of what was happening right around the same time last year when Venus was hanging out with Pluto in the sky. And so in some way, especially as we get to the end of the month, what is taking place will reflect what was happening just a year earlier. For those of you open to meeting someone new, the likelihood of you connecting with someone in the last 3 weeks of the month, it becomes more likely if you are in places that you frequent regularly. It is in those spaces where you end up with this almost natural second nature type of connection with another person, especially as we're approaching the new moon. It may take you very much by surprise. But the reality of this person, how they live, that starts to show up before the month is over. And that's where you'll get to have a sense, have a feeling of the larger implications of actually pursuing something with somebody that perhaps you interact with a whole lot already. And so there's a line. You get to decide whether or not you want to cross it. For those of you just starting to date somebody, it is a remarkable time, but it is a time of looking at how this person actually lives and whether or not it works for you. Now that's one layer of what's happening. Keep in mind though, at that full moon that happens on the 8th, it is speaking in supreme harmony with Saturn in your opposite sign. And so I feel like you're going to get some insights into how much you truly feel that this person could be a partner to you or not. And it's going to be related to how much of a friendship you feel with this person as well. But for all that, it is likely going to come down to how this person lives, what their habits are, and whether or not you feel cohesion there. And for those of you in an established bond, well, that energy of the full moon on the 8th It may very well be your partner who restores that sense of groundedness and balance that may be necessary at a time that can feel kind of free floating. Where it is that there's confusion related to a friend, it might be you talking it out with your partner that helps you to understand what it is that you truly desire to do. For all that though, yes, it is going to be habits that come into focus in some way. Maybe the two of you start to integrate into each other's daily lives more to improve an overall sense of well-being and feel a sense of connection in those smaller moments as you move through your lives together. What I love about this month for you, well, there's so much here. It is an incredible astrological moment. I am going to say that I love that full moon. I know that it has its share of some uncertainty or disappointment, but it has a lot of energy to it as well. That does suggest you are coming to understand your connection to other people differently in some way with a greater depth and nuance. And add to this as well, it is going to be on the 20th of this month that Jupiter is going to move back into fellow fire sign Aries. That's where Jupiter was already from May to September earlier this year. And so now it is going to be Jupiter stepping back that is going to zip through this part of the sky right into May of 2023 and then not to return for over a decade. It is here that the world is going to open up to you that much more with greater ease, greater purpose, and greater understanding as well. I think you're going to find this an incredibly rewarding time of movement and momentum and genuine adventure ahead. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. I look forward to meeting you there. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.